going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, August 18th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Really appreciate you all. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. I know it's been a lot. I definitely felt it yesterday. Like, wow, this yacht energy with this Venus trine Jupiter. There's just so many. There's a lot. Energetically, I just feel drained. I'm so tired. So we're all kind of going through it in our own way and in some fashion right now. Let's take a look at today's horoscope, where we're still in that yacht energy, and it's probably the most potent day because the sun is at 25 and coming to 26. So it really is at that midpoint, of Pluto at 26 and Neptune at 24 and their sextile. So it's very, 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 very potent. And Mars is at its final, couple days here at 29 of Taurus. So we're really on the edge. So we're on the edge. We can feel these very out of our control pulls because Pluto is where we can, a lot of things get uncovered, things we have power and control over and things that we don't. And, it's almost like God's coming through with Neptune. There's this very divine sort of feeling and this very, it's a big essence that's coming through from something that we can't see, but we can feel it intensely with Pluto there. And it's and the sun's even at 25, which makes it at 7, which is seven's a very spiritual degree too. So there's just a lot of weird, out of our control change that's taking place. And we don't want to get upset or angry because things aren't maybe showing up the way we expected. I feel like Mercury can kind of want things to be in order here, but it's starting to work on its opposition over to Neptune, and we're not going to be thinking clearly. We're not going to be seeing clearly. The moon's going to meet with Uranus in the North Node, so already our emotions are in a pretty intense place with the North Node and a pretty radical place with Uranus, where they're kind of, this moon in Taurus wants to find all the grounded goodness and the best physical things, but at the same time it's it doesn't know exactly what that is, and it has to kind of detach from its feelings in some way with Uranus and kind of just see where things go. And I think that's kind of the hard part today is we just kind of have to see where things go. I feel like anything that you think is going to happen, it's not, and anything that you don't expect it. And just roll with the punches that the universe is trying to, divinely serve up for you, because in the end, it's going to make sense. In the end, you're going to see why things are happening the way they're happening. I think we're realizing how little control we have in life right now and how we're all kind of being puppeted by something bigger, which is the finger of God. That's a yacht. We're like a puppet on strings from the universe right now. And it's so silly to think that we can have things just dialed up to perfection right now, even though I think we can want to have everything kind of put into order. The only order right now is flowing through chaos or flowing into the direction of life that brings you a grounded sense of stability and happiness. And I think really it all comes down to your self-worth. If you just know that you're good and you just know that you're solid, then whatever changes take place or whatever doesn't go as planned or whatever you thought was going to happen didn't happen or does happen, then you're fine because you're whole within yourself. And I think that's the trick to today, as we're seeing this moon also make its third quarter square over to the sun in Leo. We're also at that place too where it's wow, we're getting ready to close out Leo season here, and we can want this super high quality, this super kind of gregarious, glorious fucking, oh my God, that everything's exactly as I want it. And does that exist right now? And are we still finding our happiness, still finding love, still finding the things that do excite us and do stimulate us in the right ways? Mars is so happy to be finishing up here, but it's on the edge. And we can feel like we're all on the edge. But I think the real question is, are you on the edge of your own darkness or are you on the edge of your light? And I think that's where the pointing of this dignified sun in Leo with this yacht is very important to remember, that it is that light that you emanate from your soul. It is your self. It is the self-worth that you bring to the table. It is knowing that you're whole, and it is knowing how much you are worth and how valuable you are, to where, guess what? Let the edge come. Let things show up as they may. Let people go here. Let people go there. It's a lot. And we're dealing with a lot of relationship energy just with Venus at 8 degrees because it's coming off that exact trine, but it's still in trine to Jupiter. So there's just so much amplification when it comes to people, relationships, our values, having these big heart desires right now, and maybe not seeing them show up the way we thought they were, or the things that we really wanted to identify, that we really believed in. Is it working that way? And this is just where, remember to find the happiness, and that's the abundance, and it's not about losing faith. So I feel like we're on the brink of like, I'm just going to lose faith. And we don't want to be in that place. This is a time to embrace faith, embrace knowing you're good, even if it feels intense, and even if it feels like we're conflicted when it comes to the things that we physically want and the things that we're actually physically meant to have in this moment. And it's not to say that abundance can't show up in great ways or amazing relationships or people. It's just like the idea of thinking that we have some kind of control right now is silly, and it's not going to get us very far. So that's just where people are going to get angry. People who are trying to control life right now are going to get very frustrated. And people that are just know their whole no matter what happens and realize that it's just giving us a chance to make the necessary shift within ourselves, we're going to find a lot of happiness. And I think it is that faith that keeps us from the edge of darkness and puts us really stepping off that edge into our light, which is always going to catch and embrace us with love. And that's really what I feel the astrology's at. And I mean, I didn't even talk about Saturn at 21 degrees. It's quincunx over to Mercury. So again, these ideas of planning this weird future out, or these weird things with people or society, or having a full understanding of where things are going to go, like, I don't know if that's going to work out for us very well. Maybe, maybe not. The moon is also going to square Saturn. So it's, we had a full moon with Saturn, and now we're dealing with a moon square Saturn and then square the sun in the same day. So it's just, there's definitely situations that are trying to have us kind of put the brakes on, because what we thought was valuable, or this idea of where our future was, is it actually valuable? And I think it's a big check within just our soul to be okay with the universe kind of throwing a wrench into our plans and just being like, well, planning was fun, we tried, but now we just have to pivot and know that we're all still good. We're all still in a place of at least feeling inner abundance, because that's going to eventually create this sort of outer abundance, and things are going to start moving faster, even though Mars is moving slower and Uranus is about to retrograde. So, we're in, it kind of feels like slow motion, but it's slow motion and hyperspeed, which is very interesting just to think about, because that's how it feels to me. It's like the days go by like that, but in the moment it's like, at least that's how the last day and a half has felt for me. We can break through these things, but it definitely is putting focus on our self-worth and our self-love and feeling whole, even if things don't go exactly as we assumed or thought or hoped that they would. It's kind of crazy. But not as crazy as this weekend. So, Mars in Gemini, Moon in Gemini. Moon squared with a T-square with Mercury and Neptune. There's a lot. There's a lot of like kind of helter-skelter, erratic energy. But it's almost like we kind of want it in a sense too. I think we're ready to just see like, okay, bring it on. And like that kind of mindset of just like, all right, I can flow and just bring it on. Whatever it may be, I think will help us all a lot too. see what we get in the cards for today. The King of Cups. Yeah. Knowing our emotional sovereignty, and that really it is by holding that, firm, solid, just emotional authority that things are going to be okay, even if they get a little weird, or even if things are looking a little hard or thrown up in the air right now. It's definitely like, I'm good. I'm emotionally sovereign. I can, feelings can be crazy. They can show up, but there's also that sort of, in some ways I've been here before, and I know that I can kind of pull it together in the moment to really put my energy into the things that are going to leave my cup overflowing and not feeling empty. The Fool, being excited for new beginnings, being excited and just curious about what this quest might bring, even if we don't know exactly where it's going. It's just the curiosity and excitement of being like, you know what, life is a journey, and maybe today feels like we're taking the first steps in that transformation, but from a more like dignified within ourselves place. Remember that moon is exalted in Taurus and the sun dignified in Leo. This is very potent energy, but it's intensely potent. And I think as long as we're feeling whole and good, then any first steps or any new beginnings or, don't have us feeling so much like a fool, but have us feeling more in an excited place of, that sovereignty from within. And the Two of Swords, again, which we pulled yesterday, reversed. So just kind of we are a little bit stuck at a crossroads, but to me it's like, just stop thinking about it so much. Your intuition knows, right? There's this blindfold, like we can get caught up in our mind trying to figure out the perfection of what we're looking for. God has a plan for you right now. Just be willing to accept it and take the steps. You'll probably have a very good day and feel a very, powerful within yourself if you're holding that light. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Thursday, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Friday's horoscope. Much love. Peace.